So good morning one and all. I Nabila Kazi will be taking subject for you, that is IoT. Okay. This is your semester 5 subject. So next is your reference book. These are the two reference books which are available. Both are same, only the cover page is different. Okay. This is the reference book which you have to refer. There are many other book also, but when you talk about your concepts, your syllabus matches with this book. So that is why I have suggested this book. Okay. So the soft copy of this book is available on the online resources of your library or our college library. So I will be sharing with you credentials, and using that you can have an access to book. Okay. So whenever you are searching your book on online library, you have to make sure that you are typing exact either the author's name or the exact your book name. So you have to be correctly with that. Otherwise, if you are not typing it in the proper way, then you will not end up getting the results. Okay. So it is a bit case sensitive. Okay. So this is are the reference book. Both are same books, only the cover page is different. The contents are the almost same. Okay. Before we proceed to the actual session or actual lecture of IIT, we should first know what is the syllabus. We should the first know what is the content of your syllabus. Okay, that is very much important at the very first lecture, that what are you going to study? What does your topic covers? Okay, so first we'll move with the syllabus, contents. Okay, so the very first unit is your Internet of Things and overview. Okay, so in your first unit you're going to just have an overview. What do you mean by IoT? Okay, so your unit 1 consists of 3 chapters. The very wherein your the first chapter is Internet of Things. Okay, so your Internet of Things overview, it consists of what is the flavor of IoT, what do you mean by Internet of Things, what are the technology of Internet of Things, what do you mean by enchanted objects, who are the people who are making the Internet of Things. So your chapter 1 consists of only 5 topics, that is flavor of IoT, Internet of Things, technology of Internet of Things, enchanted objects, and who is making the Internet of Things. Okay, next comes your chapter 2, that is design principles for connected devices. In the first chapter we have understand what do you mean by IoT. In second chapter we are going to understand what are the design principles of IoT, how you are going to connect the devices with each other, what are the different technologies available for connecting the devices with each other. So under this you are going to come up with calm and ambient technology. What do you mean by magic as metaphor? What are privacy, keeping secrets, whose data is it anyway, web thinking for connected devices, small pieces loosely joined, first class citizens on the internet, graceful degradation, and affordances. So these are all the topics which you are going to cover in your chapter 2. So basically these are nothing but designing principles when you are connecting your devices over the IoT. Okay. Next we are going to come with the chapter number 3, that is your internet principles. So internet principles, this chapter is something which you must have already studied in your SY in the subject computer networks, because this deals with what do you mean by IP, what do you mean by TCP IP protocol suite, what do you mean by UDP, what are the IP addresses, DNS, what do you mean by static IP address, dynamic IP address, IPv4, IPv6, and some of the example of your HTTP, HTTPS along with other application layer protocol. Okay, so overall, in unit 1, the first will be your overview of IoT. In the unit 2, how you are going to connect devices with IoT, principles. And the third, what are the different internet principles? What are the different protocols that work over the network to help you to connecting? So that is your overview of your unit 1. Okay, we'll move to next unit 2. Once we have understand that what do you mean by IoT, what are its connecting services, now we are moving to next, prototyping. How does prototyping takes place? Now prototyping here refers to whenever you are sketching, okay, whenever you are coming up with your physical designs or any of the designs, the very first step is what? You do the sketching, okay. Then once you are done with sketching, you are going to check the cost, what is the cost versus how easy is you're going to be prototyping, okay. How does prototyping production takes place, what are the different embedded platforms, how do you do physical prototyping, how do you do mass personalization. Then you're going to study some about the clouds, what do you mean by open sources, what do you mean by closed source, why you should go for open close, why you should go for closed sources. Then there is something called as combination of open and close, that is your mix open and closed services. Okay, then Last topic here is tapping into community. Whenever you're going for the closed sources, how you have to connect into with different communities which are available here. Okay. So in your chapter 4, you're going to just study about what do you mean by prototyping. What do you mean by prototyping? How you do the prototyping? What are the different physical prototypes? What systems you should opt when you're going for cloud services? What are the sources should we opt? That comes under your thinking about prototyping. Okay. Once you have understand the meaning, what do you mean by prototyping, you have to apply that prototyping over your embedded devices. That is your next chapter. Okay, that is your chapter number 5. That is prototyping embedded devices. So whenever you are prototyping embedded devices, you are going to deal with electronics, you are going to deal with sensors, you are going to deal with actuators, you are going to deal with some of the computing basics of embedded systems. Okay, what do you mean by chips, how you're going to choose your platform. Basically, here we are going to study two platforms. One is developing on Arduino platform and second is developing on Raspberry platform. Okay, so you're going to study the comparison also between these two, which is more user friendly, why people have opted for Raspberry Pi, why Arduino is not opted. So we are going to study a comparison, a comparative study between the two. Okay, then we are going to also study what is the hardware openness above the two, that is your Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So in short, unit 2 is just about your prototyping, what do you mean by prototyping, and how the prototyping can be applied over your embedded devices. Okay, let us move to next, that is unit 3. Again, unit 3 is prototyping of your physical design and online components. In the last unit, we have studied what is it, but in this unit, we are going to study what are the options which are available there. Okay, that we are going to study. Now there will be some already available physical designing. There will be some available components also. So we are going to study all the components which are readily already available to understand how the prototyping takes place there, how the sketching takes place there, what are the different methods available. Okay. So here your chapter is prototyping the physical design. So here you're going to see how the physical design of the existing systems are prepared, how the sketching takes place for the existing system, how do you explore it, what are the different non-digital methods, what are the different digital methods. In digital methods, you have laser cutting, that is software, hinges, joints, 3D printing, types of 3D printing, CNC milling, repurposing, and recycling. So this all is there. Okay, so here we are going to study the existing systems which are already there and how the prototyping takes place for those existing systems. Okay, next chapter we have is prototyping your online components. This was your physical components. The next chapter in unit 3 is prototyping your online components already which are existing. Okay, so you are going to study what do you mean by APIs, how you can mash up or you can combine different APIs. Okay, already how you can write your own APIs. There will be some APIs which are already implemented. So we'll study few APIs which are already implemented. Okay. Then we are going to also study some real-time reactions. What do you mean by polling? What do you mean by comet? Okay. What are different extensible messaging and presence protocol? And what are the different application protocols? So all related to API, existing API, how you can design your own API, what are the different components required with APIs, we are going to study here. Okay. So your unit 2 was prototyping and physical prototyping. Unit 3 is existing system which are already there to study their prototypes. Okay. Let us move to the next, that is unit 4. Now once you have understand prototyping, we are going to study how embedded codes are inbuilt into your prototypes. Okay, so that will come here. So whenever we are embedding our code, we have to know what do you mean by memory, how to manage the memory, how to make the best use of your RAM, how to increase the performance and battery life of your physical devices or physical prototypes, what are the different libraries available, how do you do debugging. So that comes here in your next chapter, that is unit 4, techniques for writing embedded code. Okay, next chapter in this is business model. Okay, once your product is in place, once your physical design is ready, everything is ready, you need to promote it also as well. So the business model here is going to tell you how you can design your business model, how you can promote it. Okay, how you can make your things sell. Okay, how you can move from craft to mass production. You're going to understand the history of business. What do you mean by subscriptions, what do you mean by customization. If you are coming up with your startup, then who are going to fund for you all. Okay, So there are different crowdfunding, there are government funding, there are venture capital, there are few startups also. So here it is an applications, you can say, wherein it tells you that what do you mean by business model, how you are going to come up with your product, what are the things you required, who are the people will help you to sell your products. Okay, what option you should go for, either you should go for subscriptions or either you should go for some customization. So all related to your product, once it is in place, you're going to study in this chapter. Okay, so that is your business models. So that was your unit 5, wherein you're going to study writing embedded code and your business model. Next, that is your last unit, that is your unit 5, which is has two chapter again, that is moving to manufacture and ethics. Okay, now moving to manufacture here means what? Once is your things are in place, okay, what are the things you required, what are you producing? Whenever I talk about physical design, I need some elements, like I need designing the kits, I need PCB, that is your printed circuit board, I need to have some software choices as well. When I'm moving to manufacturing, what will have been the design process, already existing PCBs are there, already existing etching board and milling boards are there, how I can integrate it with my existing system, how it is going to be helpful for me. So that under all comes under your moving to manufacture. So if I'm integrating, if I'm developing, what is will be its cost? Okay, how I can make my software more scalable, what I can deploy in different environments, how I can maintain security, how I can maintain correctness, maintainability, and performance. So this all comes on when you're moving to manufacture, when you're moving to mass manufacturing. So this aspects need to be considered. So each of them we are going to surely study once we move to this chapter or this unit. Okay. Last chapter is ethics. So ethics refers to norms which you really need to follow. So in IoT, how the ethics can be followed, how privacy control can take place. You have to, what do you mean by crowdsourcing? Okay, when you're using internet as service, how privacy can be maintained, what are the possible solutions, how you have to maintain IoT as a part of your solution, open internet of things, how you will implement this. So all comes here in your ethics. So basically ethics means what? Being within your limits, okay, following the norms, how you can provide in more information in a better way. So that is your ethics. So this is all your 5 units across which you're going to study in your IoT. We'll go in each and every unit in depth once we start with it. Okay, let us move to the next. Before we start, we should know what do you mean by IoT, isn't it? Before we starting the subject, we should know what do you mean by IoT. Okay, so IoT is Internet of Things. Every one of us know. Okay, but let's make this more simpler. Okay, let us make this more simpler. So when I want to make this simpler, I will divide this definition into 3 parts. The first will be my I, that stands for internet. Okay, every one of us know when we talk about internet, it is nothing but a public network that can be defined as a vast global network that has connected servers, computers, and mobile phones, and that is governed by some standard protocols for connected system. Basic functionality of internet is what? It enables us to send, receive, or communicate our information along remote servers, cloud servers, and other platforms. So that is a simple definition of internet. Okay. Next, second element which is involved in IoT is your things. Okay. So when I talk about thing in context of IoT, it is nothing but an entity or a physical object. Okay, and when I together combine these two words, that is internet and things, we can say IoT as a network of physical objects embedded with electronic softwares, sensors, and actuators that allows things to connect and exchange our data, and thereby help us to create opportunities to directly integrate our physical world into computer based world, and that can help us resulting in efficiency, economic benefits, and reduces the human efforts. So this is your 3 definition. That is, first will be what do you mean by internet, what do you mean by things, and what altogether is known as that is IoT. Okay, there is one definition over the screen. As per IEEE, IoT is defined as a network of items each embedded with sensors which are connected to internet. Okay, sensors, actuators, and controllers are most important part of IoT because they are only the one who are going to sense the environment and bring the information or data to you. Okay, so they are the most important elements in your IoT. Okay, let us move to the next. So in all, if I want to conclude IoT, this diagram makes a complete representation of my definition, that is physical objects plus sensors, actuators, and controllers plus internet equals to IoT. Okay, that is very simple. So at the end, when you want to conclude your definition, this diagram has to be there, which gives you a complete overview of your definition, that what do you mean by IoT. Okay, let us move to next. Next, we are going to start with IoT features. So far, we have understood what do you mean by IoT. Now, we are going to understand what are the features of IoT. Okay. So, the very first feature of IoT here is AI. Okay. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Okay. As we all know, IoT technically makes things smarter because whenever an internet word is associated with any object, any element, it is smarter. So it means that it enhances different aspects of life through proper data, networks, and algorithms. Okay. This can range from something as simple as improving or enhancing. Okay. Example I'm taking, let us say your refrigerators are embedded with sensors. Okay. And it automatically detects whenever your milk and eggs are running low. So it directly places an order with your grocer for the same. So this is a combination of AI and IoT. So when this two powerful technology comes together, then they make a big difference. Okay. When you talk about this, IoT is about creating an interconnected world that connects everything in your homes. Okay. AI is all about making machines smarter and intelligent by simulating human behavior and intelligence. Okay. So that is a, you can say, a difference between your IoT and AI. But when together, they are called as the most powerful technology, and they are called as AIoT, where A stands for artificial, I stands for intelligent plus internet, and O stands for of things. Next, your second IoT features is your connectivity. So now what do you mean by connectivity? As we all know, connectivity is nothing in simple words, connecting your devices. Okay. Always we have come up with the concept that when we talk about networking, it always deals with large devices, large networks, connecting your large network. But now we can see that there is a big technological gap wherein your small and cheaper devices are also doing the same thing. Okay. And it is providing the same efficiency. So we are not no more into that technology world where big things can only do big things. Okay. Now with this technology enhancement, small things at cheaper cost can also do the same thing. So that is your connectivity. Okay. When IoT comes into this picture, it really makes us easy for us, small networks, small devices connecting with each other and giving you the same efficiency. Okay. So that is your connectivity. That is your second IoT feature. Third, your IoT feature is your sensors. Okay. To be very honest, the true essence of IoT will not be efficient without sensors. Okay. They are basically the reasons why the technology have stand out so well. So sensors plays a very important role by converting your passive networks to active networks. Earlier, your network was what? Passive. Okay. They are just used to send the data from point A to point B. Just what the data is being sent, that's all the data. There is nothing new. The network is passive in nature. Okay. But with IoT emergence, it has become active. There's something more going into the background. Background data or information is being sent, and it is capturing the data, analyzing the data, and giving you results in real time. Okay. So active here means what? Your data is giving the through IoT, your data is a real time data. Okay. So that is your active network here. Next, fourth IoT feature is your active engagement. Okay, active engagement means what? The interaction now between your systems, okay, and the user have become more interactive. Okay, you are all the time communicating with the system, you are all the time giving some commands to your system, the system is giving your commands back, it is fulfilling a request. So that is your active engagement. You are constantly with the system for some work, you are giving the commands, it doing something for you. That is called as interaction. Previously there was no interaction. Previously the interaction was in the form of keyboard. You are typing something, it is understanding something, and it is giving you the result. Okay, so that was passive engagement, that was not active engagement. Now we have active engagement. Whatever you say, do it. And there at few times you don't tell something, but automatically sends and do it for you. So that is called as active engagement. So with IoT, many active contents have come into the picture. Service engagement have become more powerful. The interaction between the system and the user have also become very much powerful. Okay, last feature is devices. Okay, devices are more powerful, cheaper, and small over the time with IoT. Earlier, the devices used to be very big, isn't it? Now we have small devices which are cheaper also, okay, and which are giving you a good efficiency as well. Okay, so basically with IoT, you are making use of small devices and delivering features like it is scalable, it is versatile, and the accuracy is also good. Okay, there is something called as ubiquitous computing. Okay, ubiquitous computing basically means what? You are making small handheld devices very powerful, just like your big devices. Okay, like your smartwatches. Okay, your your lap, what do you say, tablets. So all small handheld devices are made so powerful, just like your big devices. So that is your devices. So IoT features are five. First is AI, that is your artificial intelligence. Second is connectivity. Third is your sensors. Okay, fourth is your active management. Fifth is your devices. That's all your five features of IoT. Okay, so let us move to the next. Now, next topic here is what are the major components of IoT. Okay, when we talk about IoT, what are elements that consist or that comprises or that makes IoT? Okay, so major elements are: you need one thing or device. Next, you need a gateway for controlling the traffic. Next, you need a cloud that will help you to store your data. Once the data is stored in the cloud, you need your data to be analyzed. You need your data to be in a report form, so that we come under your analytics. And last is your user interface. Without the user interface, this all elements will not have anything to work with. Okay, so we'll take just one of the each devices in short. As you every one of us know that IoT is the biggest transformation, okay, in process of connecting our smart devices and objects to the network to perform efficiently and access the data remotely, as we all know about it. Okay, so the very first thing which comes as a major components of IoT is your thing or device. Okay, its definition we have already studied previously. Okay, thing or device is nothing but a physical object or an entity, okay, that is embedded with sensors, actuators, or controllers that sense the environment data and brings data to you. So that is your thing or device. Okay, so we can say that devices and sensors are the components of device. Okay, and these smart sensors are doing what? They are continuously collecting the data from your environment, transmitting the information to the next layer. Now what is the next layer? That is your gateway. Okay, common sensors can be your temperature sensors, can be your thermostats, can be your pressure sensors. You can have light intensity detectors. You can also have your RFID tag. So these are the different commonly used sensors. Okay. Second component is your gateway. Okay. So gateway is nothing but it manages your bi-directional data traffic between different networks and protocols. Okay. It also helps you to translate your different network protocols and make sure that interoperability of the connected devices and sensors is there. Okay. Because in internet, if you see, there is lot of data being transmitted from point A to point B. There are connection of multiple servers. So whenever you are transmitting your data, the important functionality is interoperability. Okay, so gateway has to do that interoperability of the connected devices and sensors. Okay, next, third important component is your cloud. Okay, cloud is very much important. Whenever you want to store your data remotely, we use clouds. Okay, and we all of us, we know that when you talk about IoT, it creates massive data from devices, applications and users, and that data needs to be managed, okay, in efficient way. So to manage your data in efficient way, you need some mechanism to store that data. So to store that data, we are using what? IoT clouds, which helps us to collect, process, manage, and store a huge amount of data in real time. Important here is in real time, because in IoT, we are not dealing with passive networks, we are dealing with an active network. So when we talk about active network, in that case, your data has to be real time. Okay, your data cannot be your historical data. It has to be an updated data, maybe the data which you have received few seconds before. Okay, so with cloud, it becomes very easy for you to integrate your billions of devices, your sensors, your data storages, and it also helps you to predictive analytics, which is your next step. Okay. Analytics, in simple words, you can tell it is nothing but analysis. Analysis of what? The data which is stored in the cloud. Okay. Whatever data is stored in the cloud, you need to analyze the data. What is the data of week wise? What is the data of your hourly basis? So all your data saves real time. So you need a report generation of that data. So for that report generation, we use what? Analytics. Okay. So basically in IoT, analytics is nothing but a process that converts your analog data from different or billions of smart devices and sensors into useful data which can be interpreted and can be used for detailed analysis. Okay. Last but not the least, that is your user interface. User interface plays a very much important role in IoT. Okay, because it should not be complex. Already there are so many complex things that are happening in the background. There is devices which are sensing your data. There is traffic which is being monitored. There is data which is stored in the real time. There is report generating which is already taking place. So when many things are already going into the background, your user interface should be very simple. Okay, the more simple is the user interface, the people or the user will be more comfortable. Okay, if the user interface is complex, then people will really take time to understand it. Okay, so user interface has to be very simple. Okay, so with user interface being simple, it should also have one more feature into it. That feature is nothing but compatibility. Okay, your user interface should be simple as well as it should be compatible in most of the devices. Okay, your interface should be same on most of the devices. Different systems should not have different user interface. Okay, so the two things which always the users or the customers are into, that users, whenever they buy the devices, first they see whether the user interface is easy or not. Second, what they see, it should be user friendly. And the third, it should be compatible with the existing wireless standards. Okay, so whenever you talk about user interface, whenever you design your IoT, you have to take care of these few things which has to be there into your system. Okay, so overall, this is your major components of IoT. Okay, which will have thinker device, which will have a gateway, which will have a cloud for storage, which will have analytics for analyzing your cloud data which is stored in the real time, and finally a user interface which will help you to interact together. Okay, so this is your major components of IoT. Okay, so that's all for the day. We shall have more topics in the next lecture. Okay, so far whatever we have covered today is your what do you mean by IoT, definition of IoT, IEEE definition of IoT. Okay, what is the features of IoT, and the last topic for today was major components of IoT. Okay, thank you everyone. We shall see more topics in the next lecture ahead. So anybody have any questions? Then they can ask me here.